Why don't we go next to, let's go to Miguel from Lima, Peru, one of the places I was to visit in 2020. But then Miguel, the pandemic hit, and I've not been able to do it yet.
That's too bad. We would have liked you to be here.
I would have
Can you hear
liked to
me?
have been there. Yes, I can.
Great. So my question is about vaccinations. In
Yes.
particular, being from a country where only about 1% of the population has been able to get vaccinated,
Mm.
the issue being that we're not able to get vaccines into the country as efficiently as other countries have been. I know that some people who have the economic capability to do it are going to places like the U.S. in order to get vaccinated,
Yes.
and in some parts of the U.S. that's legal. I think in Texas it is. I know a lot of people personally who have been there, and I wanted to know your opinion on the morality behind people who aren't citizens of the U.S. going to the U.S. specifically to get vaccinated.
Well, listen, the morality, it's less a question of the morality of doing it. It's more of, is it allowed and or are they lying? I mean, there was a bunch of time where wealthy Argentinians were flying from Buenos Aires to Miami and getting vaccinated in Miami and doing shopping and then going back to Argentina. And eventually, when Florida found out about it, they said they were stopping it, that you had to show proof of residency in Florida. They said it, but from what I understand, they're not really checking, so you can just lie. So for me, the morality is more about, are you doing something dishonest, rather than if the rules are, if it's 65 plus, it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in any state in any country as long as you're 65 plus. You're not really doing anything wrong if you can afford to go to that state and to get the vaccine. It's really more of an administrative question. I think the spirit of the doses that the Biden administration has obtained are for Americans. And that's economic nationalism. Countries are mostly looking out for themselves right now. And I understand why. And it's creating a huge imbalance where there are poor countries that have very few vaccines and may have none for a long period of time. I don't know exactly how to solve that. But the morality of an individual, if the state is allowing it, the individual is not really doing anything wrong.
Right. That makes sense. It's kind of the way I'm seeing it. If I have the opportunity to go and get vaccinated myself, or in particular my parents who are older,
Yeah.
I would want them to do that. Also, I mean, it's definitely an issue of we will be able to get vaccinated here in Peru. And honestly, as someone who lives here, it's mostly a question of when the U.S. and Europe will have reached herd immunity. Everyone who wants to get vaccinated has gotten vaccinated.
Well,
At which point,
understandably,
I
those could be two
assume
different things too. You may have a situation in the
exactly.
U.S. where everyone who wants it has gotten it, and we are not at herd immunity. That could happen.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
At which point, I would hope that the U.S. or Europe would just sell the vaccines to countries like Peru, and then I could get vaccinated.
Yeah, I think the U.S. is planning to give them, not just sell them. I think the U.S. plans to give them to other countries.
Right.
Hello. Yep, there you go. So yes, all right. Well, we're gonna follow it, and hopefully more vaccines in more places soon.
Thank you, David.
All right. Thank you. A beautiful phone call from Lima, Peru.